What's happening, everybody? It is Thursday night. Time for another episode of Thrifty Business with Jay and Nay. I'm your one host, Vegas Jay.
And I'm Philly Nay.
And as you can see, Nadine is not in her normal surroundings.
Right.
There's no cats. There's no blankets. There's no noisy kid.
There may be cats. There's no kids. Yes.
And where are you at, Nadine?
I am at Lola's house in North Philly, technically. Fishtown. Yes, we're in Fishtown. But for those of you who don't know Philly, Lola and I only live like really 8 minutes away from each other. So,
but in very different parts.
Cool. Obviously, Lola's going to be our guest. So let's get right into it. Time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Where each week I drink a different rum, but I have a different tiki mug and try and educate you in the process about yumminess. So I have my one and only Philadelphia Tiki mug tonight, since the girls are coming to you live from Philly. So if you ever find anything from Pub Tiki, it's a long time ago, and I'll actually show you this mug just so. Now, this mug is very plain, and you can buy this mug. You can sell this mug plainly for about $12, $15. But if you find it from Pub Tiki, as you can see, the last one sold for $50. So keep your eyes open for Pub Tiki stuff. Let me have a little sip here.
I wish Pub Tiki was still here.
No.
And I said, hey, Lola, tell me a little bit more about yourself. She's like, well, I was born in Boston. I'm like, this is a great rum. I don't think I've ever shared before. It is a Massachusetts rum, which I bought in Boston, called Ragged Mountain. And it is an awesome, very yummy, very sippable rum. So if you're in, I don't know if it's available out here, but if you're in the Northeast and you want a different kind of rum, go check this puppy out. Now, I've been told there's a Jay's Tiki Talk takeover, so I got to throw it to the girls right now.
We have commandeered.
Yes, so we each have a special non-tiki mug to drink from, but they're glasses that we
found thrifting.
Yes, so cheers.
I hope you washed them.
Yeah, so this is actually a Rocketeers anniversary, Rockettes, anniversary glass. It's actually plastic, but I looked it up and it's going for like $25. So Lola and I are going to sell this after and split the money for the bins.
Yes. Yeah. And mine says, everyone loves a Latina girl, because I am Latina, but there's no tequila in here. It's just rum.
It's rum. And if you want to,
this rum.
That is good. That is one good drink. So we have a special rum tonight.
It's called Different Drum Rum from La Colombe, which is around the corner from here. It's a kind of across the street from the Yachtsman, and
their own rum.
They distill it there, and it's made from a coffee place, so they distill it with coffee.
So you might not
know the word coffee, then I'm out.
But it is local. It's a local Philly rum that you probably haven't had before. So we educated you on a rum.
So local,
you did.
From this house. So
yes, And with that, we have some pineapple juice. What is the drink called It's a tiki drink.
It's a rum punch with pineapple juice and Canada Dry ginger ale,
and it's good. Very good. And we also are going to talk about some tiki mugs here. Lola and I both have one.
Well, we don't really. I don't really have a tiki mug. I tried.
Well, I have this. I brought it from home, and this is actually from the Hawaiian cottage that used to be in Merchantville, New Jersey. It was called Geisha Room, and so this is very appropriate for our guest tonight because she is a Philly girl like me, and it's closest to Philly, so that I had. So,
and I have a Jekyll and Hyde mug. That is the closest thing to a tiki mug I have ever found.
Yeah, they sell tiki mugs, and I've been to that Jekyll and Hyde. I've been to both Jekyll and Hyde.
On it, but this is my find so far.
So that's our.
All right, close enough. So there we go. There was girls Tiki Talk time.
Yes, cheers.
All right, let's get into it now. Time for Nay's breast cancer update and fact of the week.
Okay, so I went to my first appointment at my new hospital today with my new oncologist, and it actually went pretty well. I didn't really find anything exciting out, but I got a whole lot of information, and I'm going to have a whole lot of appointments coming up, some tests and a whole lot of fun appointments. So they are, I think they're going to really take care of me there. And I wanted to, this is one of my favorite. What is that? I don't know. Okay. So that's one of my favorite sayings. I just wanted to, supporting the fighters, admiring the survivors, honoring the taken, and never, ever, ever giving up hope. My name means hope. And I don't believe in ever giving up. So, and another person that never believes in giving up, who is a real inspiration to me, who also has cancer, not breast cancer, but thyroid cancer, is our friend Robin Haas. And Jason and I, she's a very dear friend to both Jason and I, and she has stage 4 thyroid cancer. And that's the thyroid cancer ribbon there, and Robin's beautiful face. And she has some good news. Her tumor is shrinking through the experimental, through the experimental treatment that she's on. So that's really good news. We wanted to give a shout out to Robin and say congratulations, and we love you. And
job well done.
So yay, Robin. Yeah, she's kicking cancer's butt. That's right.
All right, let's get into it, shall we? Because let's talk about the scores of the week. Okay. Nay and I share the best stuff we sold this week, give you little bolos, little tips. So we do 4 scores and 2 duds, and everything but 1 dud came from today. So I had a good day today. So, whoops, I'm a little high. This is a brand you should write down. So get a pen and paper, write this brand down if you're unaware. Now, this shirt seems horribly boring, except for the tiny little tiki embroidered. But the brand is called Iolani, which was a awesome brand of Hawaiian wear, even though they're not looking Hawaiian, back in the 60s. And Iolani would be what your like older brother wore. But Iolani Executive is what your dad would have worn. And that's a little more higher end construction. And this sold for my full asking price of $50 today. I paid $250 because the thrift store didn't see anything fancy with it. So keep your eyes open for Iolani, and especially Iolani Executive.
Nice.
I got a very low offer on these last week, $20, and today they sold for full price. So these were hot when I was a teenager. So if you're younger than me and you've never heard of Meritain Francois Jabot jeans, keep your eyes open. These were funky, and they were kind of hard to describe. So we did straps, because I don't know what else to do. It's like this strap goes across the ass and down these little slots, but it was all design, and those sold for $50 full price today. Now this one is not so much about the brand. The brand is Saidan of Hawaii, but it's definitely about the gorgeousness of this dress. And I paid $750 for this dress, but I thought it was just amazingly gorgeous.
Yeah.
And had this great let's go back to the neckline here. Had this great neckline with the frog closure, the mandarin collar, and then the sleeves were killer. Kimono type sleeves. There you go. And this sold for full asking price today of $59.99.
Very nice. It's beautiful.
And then last, here's something from the weird thing. For those who've been following me for a while, I went to Penn Jillette's garage sale. And this was one of the things. Smee and Blog, the Singing Executioners. There was 2 of them there. I bought them for $1 a piece. I sold one yesterday for $29.99, and I still got one left. So there's something that, and it was kind of like a homemade deal. There's no barcode. There was even no way to scan it really. But I thought it was funky and weird enough, and I figured if Penn Jillette has it, it's weird. So, hey, man, I got $30 for a $1 investment.
Very nice, yes.
There you go, Nay.
Okay, so I talked about this on one of our hauls recently, and this is a Tory Burch for Neiman Marcus for Target. There was a lot of keywords there. Lunchbox, and as we know, Target's lines do discontinue as fast as they come in. They're out of the store, and then people search for them on eBay and the secondhand market. So this actually had a thermos in it too. It's a lunch bag. It looks like a cosmetic case, but it's a beautiful lunch bag. The thermos was missing. I still sold it for $29.95 with free shipping. So. And nice. This is actually, I'm going to talk about that shipping in my shipping tip later. So stay tuned for that. And then I sold these were Keen women's boots, and I'm trying to get my winter boots out now because although it is winter somewhere else in the world, I just took an offer for $43 on those. And that was, to me, that was a good offer. I paid $4.99 for them. So.
Oops, I was clicking the wrong computer.
And then this puzzle, actually, I bought when we did our I think it was the early February thrifting class we did. I didn't buy anything for myself, and I bought my kids a bunch of clothes, and my total when I got up to the register, and they had a bunch of puzzles just sitting by the register, and I saw this one and it was sealed, and I just grabbed it. Like, it was like the last thing that I grabbed. And I rang out, and it was like my total was like $43, and I was like, geez, I didn't even get that much. But as it turned out, this puzzle was a winner, and basically I basically sold bought all my kids' clothes and everything. So it sold for $34.95. So that was a pretty good one. And this, Jason, you've taught me DVDs.
I love this show. If you've never seen this show, go find it. It's awesome.
So this was my second DVD scorer now. This is the Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. It was a Japanese show with English subtitles. It was like
no, that subtitle's redubbed.
Okay, yeah, it was crazy. So I found this one, and I knew it was unusual. And when I looked it up, I was like, whoa. And I was looking in the thrift store for more because they all sell for at least $50. So I had sold it actually last week to someone. They paid, and then they immediately asked for a cancellation. So I had to refund them and cancel the sale. But it just sold again, and this time the sale stuck. And this time it sold to someone in Canada. So they paid $50. They gave me an offer for $50, plus they paid shipping to Canada. So that went out today.
See how that works?
Mm-hmm. So that was
alrighty.
DVD.
That was our scores. Now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours. This was a dud all the way around, and it's a great jacket. I don't know if I didn't describe it well or what, but man, it's a awesome Echo Unlimited heavy-duty battalion crew jacket, and I had it for so long I threw it on a sale, forgetting I had free shipping on it, and so it sold today for $13.99, so someone's going to get a sweet deal, more so because it costs $11 to ship. The jacket weighed 2.5 pounds by itself. I squeeze it into an A somehow, but yeah, I lost money on this. But whoever gets it, they're going to be like, Jay's the man. He cut me a sweet deal. And then this, I know her beak's a little crumpled, but this is a cute little Daisy Duck from the Disney park in Tokyo. And I've had it since Thrift Hunters, and no one's ever even made a nibble. And 1,129 page views, and I've never even received an offer. So I have no clue why that is such a dud. I thought a cool plush Disney thing from Tokyo, the only way to get it would be to go to Tokyo. But nothing. Not a dang thing. As you can see, September 12th, 2014. I get rid of this stupid thing. If anyone wants this, I'll cut you a sweet deal. Message me.
Okay, so these are a dud because, first of all, I took too low of an offer on them. And I shouldn't have taken a $25 offer on them. Now, I don't know why. I guess to you, it's saying $17.15 shipping. That wasn't what it really was. But they were like 3 pounds, so the shipping was heavy. So she did pay for the shipping, and then she's returning them because they didn't fit. So actually, I might be able to turn them into $4 because I'm not going to take a low offer of $25 the next time around whenever I get them back. So, and this one was a dud because he really gave me again, I took a way too low of an offer. He gave me a low ball of $19 with free shipping. Actually, he gave me a lower offer. We started at like $10, and I was like, no. But then we got up to 19, and I was like, okay, fine. Which Mara of Mexico Pottery those mugs don't sell for quite as much as they used to. They used to sell for like $40, but I could have probably gotten at least 25 to 30 for it. So I should have waited. And then he messaged me today and said that there was a crack in the handle, and I didn't see a crack in the handle, but I will take his word for it. So I'm probably just going to have to refund him. So that's even more of a dud now.
That's a dud times 2.
I know. So.
All right, you've seen our scores. You've seen our duds. Now it's time for Close Encounters of the Thrifty Kind. think I have you up first. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So this woman, we were in our, and Lola, I might ask you to chime in. Yeah. So we were in our class. She can help me tell the story because she was there. We did the class on Tuesday, which really worked out great. Shout out to everybody who attended. It was so much fun. It was a really great class, a great group. And this woman, I was teaching handbags, and I'm standing there explaining, all this about handbags and to everybody. And I noticed that I got an extra member of our class.
I've had those, Nadine. I've had them too.
But not only
that, creeping closer and closer.
She said, how did she say it?
She was like, I didn't pay. I'm here to take the class for free.
Yes. It's pretty much
like, what a bitch.
I know.
But you were so nice. So I was in another aisle, so I was like overhearing all of this as it was happening, and they was so sweet. Was like, oh, there's the thrifting board. Are you on Facebook? You can come and join the group.
She wasn't interested.
And everyone else in the class was trying to encourage her. And you could tell she was a reseller, right?
Mm-hmm. And she was saying, well, the problem is with you other resellers, you're driving all the price. Yes, you're driving all the prices down.
And you were being nice to her. Screw her.
So she was saying that but she was also like, we kept seeing her, and she was also like offering us tips and talking about other stores. I think she was just
like lonely
or nutty. Maybe. Yeah, or both.
Well, it's Philly. I'm gonna go with nutty.
So she wouldn't let me take her picture. I asked her if I could take her picture because it was really obvious, and she said no. So we got the bag.
Oh, you don't ask. She was listening to your class for free. You walk right next to her and you snap a selfie.
But the stuff that she was buying was
Have I not taught you better, young lady?
She had a juicer in her cart. I don't know what brand it was. That might do okay. But everything in her cart, like the clothing and the purses and stuff, nothing was good. So she really needed our class, and she needed the thrifting board.
And so maybe that's why her prices are going down, because she's just sourcing crap.
Maybe so.
That's could be.
Yeah, she was definitely.
Nadine, I got a question for you on mine. Mine's a little bit different than normal. How often have you ever heard me over the years disparage any of the thrift stores we shop at?
Oh, never.
You're right. Especially what chain?
Savers.
Yes. Well, Savers, you're on blast tonight because this is ridiculous. I am going to tell you my thrifty encounter. I'm at the showcase where they keep good stuff the other day, and I see this, and I'm like, are you shitting me right now? So the Jungle Book one caught my eye. I quickly looked up on eBay what they're selling for. As you can see, a rare Black Diamond 1991 Jungle Book VHS, sealed, sold for 99 cents. You want to know what they're pricing them at, Nadine? And everyone watching, are you ready to poop your pants?
$9.99.
$149.99.
What?
Not for all of them, individual, because there's Cinderella at $149.99. Someone at that Savers read that stupid false article online and fell for it. And if you notice, the tag is silver, and silver was the half off color of the week. That means these have been sitting there for 5 weeks. So it's the rare time I'm going to do this, but I'm going to go talk to the general manager of the Vegas, because he's got a pricer who's an idiot at this store.
Yeah, somebody's really that's crazy.
That is my thrifty encounter.
If somebody actually pays that, they're getting ripped off. And if they don't know they're getting ripped off, because
unbelievable. And I love Savers. Anyone who has followed me for 5 minutes knows I love Savers, but this is a waste of space in the display case and just a waste of someone's time who priced these. And all right, that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Okay, so
now it's time for our thrifty tip of the week, and we have a new sponsor to Thrifty Business with J&A, and I am so happy to have them. This segment is brought to you by Stamps.com. Postage on demand. Print your own postage and shipping labels in seconds. Stamp.com's online postage service enables small businesses like me and Nadine, enterprises and online retailers to print U.S. Postal Service approved postage with just a computer, a printer, and an internet connection right from their home or office. And I use Stamps almost every single day. It's a great product. And if you missed our show with Eric Nash from Stamps.com, go back about 2 episodes and you will see Eric. He is the bomb diggity.
Yeah. So we're so glad to have Stamps on as
yes, thank you, Stamps, for sponsoring the show.
Yes. So my thrifty tip is, if you see any tags on clothing that say something other than made in China, or Taiwan, or, you know, if you see something that says made in Belgium or made in Italy or made in France, luckily, most likely you have something that's pretty high end and unique. So you can see the buttons. These are the pair of pants. They're all embroidered. They're gorgeous. You can see the buttons there on them. And then in the next tag, I had two tags.
Okay. Sure did. Hang on.
That's okay. We
all right, you talk. I think I can find it really quick. You talk.
Okay. Well, anyway, so if you see that, then you know from that, even if you can't find the brand. Now, this brand is called Victoire, which you would know if you saw the other picture that Jason can't find.
It's coming.
There it is.
Oh, we're there. There we go. Sorry about that.
You'll notice that it has European sizing. So that's another indicator that you have a European garment. And it's easy to translate the European sizing to the US sizing. I mean, if nothing else, measure. So this, I can't really find comps on this brand, but I know it's good. It's high end. It's going to do well. And mostly in the thrift stores here in the US, I mean, if you went thrifting in Europe, you're going to find a lot of European clothes, but a lot of
I can't wait. Oh, sorry.
A lot of the European clothes here are going to be high end because the people that donated them are either they bought them or ordered them from Europe, or they came from wherever they're from. And so you're going to find you're going to find some good European clothes. So if you have something that says made in Belgium, made in France, made in Italy, and the tag is in a different language, the size is in European sizing, definitely grab it. So that's my advice.
Cool. All right. So here's my tip. Now, look, I'm going to ask this question. You guys want to raise your hands in the chat. There's a little bit of delay, so I know the answer, but I still want to see them. How many of us have given up on the coffee mug section? Now, coffee mugs used to do great, and there's rare examples, but how many have just given up on even stopping over in the coffee mug section and looking? Now, I had.
Lola, raise your hand. No, I still look because
now I had, but from the same savers who mispriced their VHS, I was with some surfers from the thrifting board. I had a nice day with them, and they had walked through and they had glanced, but they didn't look. And I walked through and looked and found awesome rare tiki thing in the coffee mug section that didn't get seen by anybody else but me. So here's the side that was facing out. It says Oakland Athletics, congratulations, 1988 champions. Now, this might be a cool glass by itself. It might be worthless because then they end up losing the World Series. And if you're a fan, you know how they lost. But if you turn the glass around, which wasn't facing out, you would see it's a promo glass from Trader Vic's. So they won the championship, and then Trader Vic's made these glasses. So if you ordered a Mai Tai that week, you got these cool promo glasses because they had to be made quick between winning the championship and winning the world or losing the World Series. There's only like a week there. So that was a quick promo. These are hard to find. I probably won't part with it anytime soon, but I will sell it someday, and I'll probably sell it to an Oakland fan, obviously. But that was in the coffee mug section. So I recommend pausing and looking.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And there's also tiki mugs there sometimes. So
yeah. So this time it was a tiki glass. So
very cool.
You never know what you're going to find. All right, now it is time for, we get the little graphic up. It's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me, where Nay and I give you the what to do's and what not to do's about shipping. This segment is brought to you by BubbleFast, a family-owned business providing quality shipping supplies to the online community since 1999. BubbleFast, the internet's home for shipping supplies. And if you do go shop at BubbleFast, plug in J and Nay, JAYANDNAY, at checkout, and you save 10% off your entire order. And if you watched the show last week, you know I cheated on BubbleFast and bought crappy bubble wrap. So make sure you're buying good quality products, because buying crappy products doesn't do you no good when you have to use more of it. All right, Nay, I'll put you up first.
Okay, so my shipping tip has to do with this this Tory Burch for Target lunch case that I sold. Now, for some reason, silly me, I guess I was just listing fast, sell similar, and I put for the shipping padded flat rate envelope, and there was no way this thing was ever going to fit in one. So if I had thought ahead, I would have known that, but I didn't. So I had to give them priority mail still. Because I promised priority mail. So, and it could have gone first class because it was like 12, 13 ounces. So But when I put it in a priority box, guess what? It bumped the rate up to £2. So sometimes when you're dealing with priority and you're right at that kind of right between the £1 and the £2, try a Tyvek mailer or a poly mailer. So I used a Tyvek. I put it it fit perfectly in one of those Tyvek mailers. I put a little bubble on it so that it wouldn't get like damaged at all. But it fit perfectly. It slid right into the Tyvek, and it went pretty much exactly at the £1 rate. So I didn't have to pay the overage for £2. So
very cool. All right, now mine is oh shoot, I never even had that picture up. Sorry, you were talking the whole time. Let me show the picture real quick. Okay, there's a nice picture. Okay, now it's my turn. All right, everyone in the sound of my voice, everyone watching live, watching later on, you've got to help yourself. Pinned to the top of the thrifting board is this post from our lifeguard, Teresa Cox. eBay is trying to talk to the post office to keep our rates low for us. That means our discounted rates and all our rates. And, I disparaged a thrift store a little bit. I'm going to talk a little bit bad about the post office, which I never do either. But I've always thought, damn, we are a lot of sellers as a mass, and we bring a shit ton of business to the post office. And I think we should have a better deal. So eBay Main Street, which is the government arm of eBay, which has taken me to DC twice to talk to Congress, they need you to sign a petition. It takes about 30 seconds. It's like name, address, phone number, and email. It's not putting you on no weird mailing list. It is to let the post office know that eBay and all its sellers would love to keep using the post office, but we need a deal. So please, 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 this is for all of you. If you're a seller and you don't sign this, you're a bad seller. You really are. This is to help all of us. This is a way for all of us to have a voice to part of our daily routine. We all ship through the post office. Go sign this right now, or find eBay Main Street on Facebook, or just go to the top of the thrifting board, go to the pin post, and please sign this.
Okay. Thank you. That's a good
tip.
tip.
Yeah. I'm sorry I had to get in my post office a couple times tonight, but I had to, because if we can get a better deal, it'll be better for our bottom lines. Keep that in mind, everybody.
Definitely.
Please keep that in mind. All right, now it is time for our viewers' 2-minute topic of the week. And we have a new sponsor for this too. So I want to thank all our new sponsors. This segment is brought to you by Free Up, the hands-on hiring platform for pre-vetted e-commerce workers. Now, if you didn't see that episode, that was a few ago. Nathan from Free Up was on. It's pretty impressive how you can get virtual help. And this segment is sponsored by our friends at freeup.com. Free Up with 3 E's. Make sure you realize it's 3 E's. Is hands-on solution to hiring remote e-commerce worker. Free Up vets hundreds of workers a week, so you can access to the top 1% of online talent whenever you need them. Sign up is free, no monthly fees, no minimum hours. Get the workers you need when you need them, and only pay for the hours they work. Brenda, who is one of the Thrifting board members, is a loyal listener of the show. She heard Nate, and when he was on, is now on her way to building a remote empire with her team of Free Up workers. I've seen her take off with it. She's killing it. Go to freeup.com with 3 E's to start to free up your time and scale your business. And our question tonight, brought to you by Free Up, can you please give us some strategies to turn watchers into buyers? Submitted by Tina Latest Grace. And I see Tina's in the chat tonight too. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I saw her. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw her. All right. Let's get the timer up, and we'll get Nadine off and running. Timer and go.
So I don't really pay attention per se to how many watchers I have, because watchers are you can have 0 watchers on something and it can sell, and you can have 15 or 20 watchers and it can sit for weeks. So I don't know if I'm necessarily trying to turn watchers into buyers, but I'm just trying to turn sales. So I'm just trying to make sales. So what I do is I do run Markdown Manager frequently, and I run sales on categories. Sometimes I put my whole store on sale, and I think if some people are watching an item, they will get a notification for maybe. That's one great thing that eBay does, is they give buyers notifications when the price drops. So they'll say, they'll get an email or a message that says, hey, this price is lowered. So maybe that will encourage them to buy it. And also social media. We were talking about we've talked about Pinterest and Twitter and our social media sharing thread in the thrifting board. And I always share my items as much as I can on social media. And I think that also gets more viewers.
I gotta do it down here. I'm like, where's my face? Where is my face? There we go. Stop. Hey, there's my face. Hello, face. Okay, let me reset. I'm going to agree with most of what Nadine said. Yes, eBay sends out a little notice when you run a sale, so I do that. I will change the price on things because it's not technically a sale, but the price change. And so if it's on a watch list, eBay will say, hey, Jay, you know that tiki mug you were watching at 50? Well, they just discounted it to 30. So that'll wake up some of your buyers too. And I have also created a category in my store called clearance. So as things sit too long, I stick them in that category and then I run crazy like half off sales. You've heard my mom running them. She's doing great with them. And she's got some old stuff that she's like, I'm going to do a 75% off sale. And she'll probably just break even, but it'll move stuff. And people get excited. I get excited by a 75% off sale. I know others will too. So if you play around with the pricing, people get messages. If you change the titles a little bit, it'll come up fresh too. So you might want to tweak your title or tweak your pictures too. That might help turn a watcher into a buyer. Boom. All right. Let's see here. Turn that up to there we go. There we go. All right. I'll pop you up there for a second. I'm a little out of sorts. I don't know what happened here. There
You're all out of sorts. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I just forgot what I was doing.
Oh boy. I don't know. All I can say is old age.
Yeah, well, hey, old age. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, old age?
You're getting up there.
True. Okay, now we're back. All right, there we go.
At least I can say cancer brain.
All right, now it's time for the trendy bolos. Get to the starting gates and get these while they're hot so you know what to sell and what not. Ooh, I just winged that. That was pretty awesome.
Very good. Okay, so this is from the New York Fashion Week Trend Guide for Spring 2017, and you can see this is Tomei, Zimmerman, and J. Crew. Those are 3 designers. J. Crew is a pretty ordinary designer, but they do make runway fashion items too. So basically, ruffles are in. So, but if you see anything ruffled shirts, ruffled dresses, ruffled anything, it's going to be in this season. So, and also this is another tip here. I get some of my fashion. I know one of the questions was, where do you go to find your the latest trends this is a great website, stylecaster.com. They have some really great information on upcoming and current fashion trends and what to look for. And so that's a great site. So
cool. All right. I'm going to do something new, Nadine, I've never done before. I'm going to talk about a trendy bolo that's over. So the key here is if something's coming to an end, you got to get out. If you got product, you got to get out. So here's what came to an end. When Snapchat spectacles, if you don't know what they are, look them up. When they first came out, the first couple of months, they were so hard to get that the people would buy them from a vending machine for $129 and sell them for $1,000. The vending machine started showing up a little more frequently. I went and got 3 pair, 1 to use, 2 to sell. I flipped the first one right away for $200. So the market had come way down. And then for whatever reason, I forgot to list the second one. And then boom, this week, Snapchat started selling them online. Anyone can buy them anywhere for $129. And so before the word got to everyone, I got mine up quick and I sold them for $179.99. Wow. So if you're seeing a trend come down and you're holding, get rid of as quick as you can. I didn't lose money and I did free shipping and stuff because I wanted to make it way more attractive, but I got out. I got out as quick as I could.
They had the location, the kiosk came to Philly like a week ago. And if it had been months ago, when they were selling for thousands, I'd have been right there. But I was like, it's not worth it for like no profit and standing in line with a 4-year-old. So
yeah. All right. Now it is time for wrong screen. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Tip your waitress. It's time for Jay and Nate's mini hauls, where we just give you a little tease for our next haul. And here's my two little teases. A bag of lemons. Bag of lemons. And not just any old Billy Bass. Christmas.
Okay.
Oh, he's stuck.
Oh no.
It's the remix, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, I'm gonna have to work on that before I actually sell it.
So I have this sweater, which actually fits me, but I can't keep it. I will be selling it because it's a certain brand that is pretty high end, and this sweater will sell for at least $60. And I will tell you what brand that is and why you should look for that brand. And then when we do our haul, I'm not telling you tonight. And then this is also, you will be proud of me, Jason. I found this beautiful Hawaiian dress. And
very nice.
Yeah, and it's if you can see the brand there. It's Hukalai Fashions. Do you know that brand?
Hukilau?
Yes, Hukilau. There you go. And it's but there's a couple things that made it really awesome about the purchase. There's something else about the dress, and there were two things about the dress actually that made it extra exciting of a purchase. So I'll tell you what those things were.
Cool. All right, a little housekeeping, then we'll get to Lola. I have a new Facebook group that delivers a lot deeper and more involved webinars and help. It's called The Secret Beach. It closes at midnight tonight. So if you have not joined, get there. www.thesecretbeach.club, not .com, in the club. In the club.
Gosh.
And we also have a deal that we decided to run because so many people who work with their spouse, significant other, better half, whatever you want to call it, they want to join too. So we're doing a half off price for them. But message me right after this if you've got any questions about adding a spouse or adding yourself. But thesecretbeach.club closes tonight. You're going to get monthly webinars from me, from experts, bonus shows of Thrifty Business with J&A, and bonus shows of selling past your expiration date, being Thrifty over 50, how-to videos, and a big party in Vegas in July. So come on over, sign up, and there's a money-back guarantee. You can cancel at any time. So there is no risk, only reward, and there's not a lot of places in this world where you can find no risk and only reward. And Nadine's got something to share, and this is my favorite artwork she has ever done. Nadine as a head of yarn.
Yes.
So I will be doing shortly a video for everyone that will be tips and tricks to make money selling yarn. And it's a yarn talk with Nay. So there you go. So look for information about that coming up. And
speaking of yarn.
Yeah.
Hey, it's our guest of the week, Lola. I should have practiced this. Arellano-Fryer. Am I close? Was that close, Lola?
Yes, you were very close.
All right, cool. So Lola is here as a buyer. Now, we've never had just a buyer on. Now, Lola's doing a little selling, but she's more so a buyer, and we're going to focus on that because even though we're going to talk about yarn, it's really about what does a buyer expect from us as sellers. And when I was talking to Nate about this idea, I'm like, I think Lola will be the first of many, because if you've ever gone to an eBay event, usually they'll have a seller's panel where they'll have 4 sellers on stage, and I've been on many of those. And then they'll have a buyer's panel where they'll have 4 buyers on stage, and I've been on a couple of those. And they're asking the buyers questions. And over all the years I've been there, and there's usually 4 buyers per panel, all the ones I've ever seen, there's only been ever 2 buyers who gave a crap about how the packing was, and the rest were like, I don't care, I just want to tear it open. So we're going to talk to buyers because that way we can become better sellers. What does the buyer expect from the title, the pictures, the description, the terms of service, and then when they get the product? So that's why we're talking to Lola tonight, because Lola likes to buy yarn, and Lola is going to knit me a Hawaiian sweater.
I will work on it. Sure.
Surprise!
Volunteered her there.
Totally possible.
So Lola, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you? And then we'll get into why do you buy yarn?
Sure. So I'm Lola. I started getting into thrifting when I was in high school looking for vintage clothing. And so that's a lot of what I sell. But I also am a blogger, and I blog about thrifted home decor. So how to turn your house into a beautiful home using things from thrift stores and redoing thrifted furniture and that kind of thing. And that was how I first found the thrifting board. Was because I was looking for stuff on Facebook where I could promote my blog. So it was totally unexpected, but so I really got into eBay at that point, and I've been knitting since I was in high school, around the same time I started thrifting, actually. And I worked at a yarn store all through college. So I have been
There's yarn stores?
There are yarn stores, yes. There
So
are.
there's nothing but yarn in a whole store?
There are knitting needles and notions and wool and yarn, yes.
Wow.
And
Talk about not in my scope of things. Yeah. I just thought yarn would be like a little extra, corner of Hobby Lobby, not a whole store. That's crazy.
No. It is amazing how many brands and types of yarn there are, which I'm sure anyone who started selling yarn probably has started to notice that it's nearly endless. And there's a lot of high-end, very high-end fibers, very high-end names and name brands that you want to look for. So, as a buyer, especially, like, that's one reason why you go to eBay, because it can be a very expensive hobby. And unlike collecting tiki mugs, where the tiki mug lasts forever, the yarn eventually you use it up. So
they don't last forever when you have friends like Nadine and Vicky.
Well,
that's forever.
So what is the name of your blog? Can I present
sure. My blog name is called Found in Philadelphia, and it's found in phila.com is the URL.
Trying to do it in the chat, yeah.
Here.
You two girls yakking it up pre-show. You should have given me that link, but here I already got it. I'm throwing it in the chat.
Okay, you can't put a link.
There we
go.
go.
You can't.
Cool.
Okay.
So, all right. So do you mind sharing your current age?
I'm 30.
Yes.
Okay. So you've been yarning and knitting for 14, 15 years?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, now that, to me, and maybe I'm wrong, it does not seem like a 16-year-old thing to do.
It is and it isn't. I've always been super crafty. So I learned to sew when I was like 3 or 4 years old. My mom taught me how to.
What?
Yeah, I learned
to do a button. You were sewing at 3?
I was sewing at 3. I made the outfit I wore to my first day of kindergarten. So.
Oh my God, you are like amazing. I had no clue.
I was a little bit of a prodigy, but I mean, that used to be totally normal that girls would learn these skills when they were really young. And so I think I just somehow had the knack and the interest to learn. So I started, learning really young and just kept at it. And I don't think I'm that unusual. I think if you meet people in the yarn community, which there is a very tight knit, no pun intended, yarn.
No, I like that.
People will say that they've been knitting for a long time. A lot of people learn from their mothers or their grandmothers. So it's something that it's a cherished skill because it's passed down from generation to generation.
So Mary Lucas called you a yarn prodigy.
Yeah, I wish.
All right. So do you remember the first thing you made?
I made a CD case for my best friend in high school.
Yarn CD case.
A yarn, so it's knitted.
This might be my favorite interview ever. This is crazy.
It was like a little. I used the pattern for a small handbag that just sort of was an envelope closure, and then I sewed in little loose CD. I don't know what. You probably
sleeves.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give you a round of applause because I'm blown away that sewing at 3. I'm sure I was still just falling over at 3.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, you're not wearing something you've made for yourself? What the heck, you two?
No, I knew that was going to happen. I tried really hard to finish knitting a sweater so I could wear it on this show, and I didn't finish. This is knit though, not knit by me. This is thrifted. It's from the 80s.
Actually, she thrifted this when we went the other day. Yes.
While everyone else was checking out after Nay's class, I thrifted it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
go ahead, Nay.
Oh no. So what do you look for in a title when you're yarn shopping on eBay or
so
Etsy
honestly, I look more at the photos.
You look more at the photos, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but the photos don't call, you're not searching photos. So what are you typing?
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be more than just yarn, right? Like I will actually type just tiki mug and look at everything.
Right.
But you can't just type yarn because there'd be so much you don't want.
Is as a seller, so and Lola does sell a little bit of yarn, but she sells more vintage clothing because she keeps most of the yarn.
I keep the yarn I find.
So she does buy it online. She bought some for me actually, so online. And I hand delivered it to her.
So it depends on what the project is. So or at least for me, and I think this is probably pretty typical, you start with the pattern that you want to make. And the pattern will give you instructions for how much yardage you need, what kind of yarn, so the weight, and then it will give you suggestions as to the fiber content. So there are some sweaters that you want to make in cotton because it's summer and you want it to be lighter. Like this is like a cotton blend. Actually, it's probably more polyester, but this is not wool.
Just like cotton.
Yeah. If it's middle of fall and I'm thinking about winter, then I'm gonna be looking for wool or maybe Angora, cashmere, something that's warmer, something that's heavier. So I will generally type in the fiber content that I'm looking for, sometimes the color, and then the weight. And then from there, I will look through the search results and look for if there's a brand that catches my eye, if there's a color, specifically the color.
And by weight, you don't mean the weight of the actual unit, you mean the weight of the yarn.
The weight, right. So there's
a difference.
There's a scale from very fine lace weight to super bulky. And in between, there's worsted weights kind of in the middle. Double knitting is a little bit lighter. Sport weight's a little bit lighter.
And they have numbers.
And they do have numbers. So and eBay will ask you for the number when you're listing yarn. So just Google search for that scale.
So don't ignore that section of your listing because
it's an item specific. So you have to have it.
Don't your specifics, you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah, you have to have that weight there.
That's probably the number one thing that, besides the color and the overall look of what the yarn is, weight is going to determine if you can make the pattern you want to make with that yarn. So it's
like DK
important.
is pretty much medium.
DK is a little bit lighter. So worsted is medium. DK is a little bit lighter. Yeah. But those are typical sweater weights of yarn.
Yeah, so Robin Haas says, "Oh my gosh, maybe that's why my yarn is not selling." Yes, if you're ignoring your item specifics, get on it.
Yarn is definitely something you're selling.
For any product, get on it.
Yeah. Think like a knitter if you're selling yarn.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said then picture. So you've of course typed in the weight you need, the material, whether it be cotton or whatever. But then let's say there's like 200 of what you specifically need. What's going to catch your eye the quickest?
I am going to look for a picture that shows that it looks like if there's enough yarn in the listing that I can make the project I want. So if there's just one skein of yarn in the picture, I might come back to it, but it's not going to catch my eye first because that might be a single yarn.
So you want to see
single skein.
If there's like 10 of them, you want to see the picture that's showing there's 10 of them.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Right from the horse's mouth, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time I'm going to tell you to back off your close-ups and show what you're selling.
Yeah, this is one thing
because Lola's visual. She's scrolling. She's like, "Oh, boom! There's 10. I need 10."
Yeah, you don't want your first picture to be the texture of the yarn or close. You want it to be what you're selling, the whole lot.
Because the thing is that as someone who knows yarn well, just from reading, if I look at the picture, I see there's enough. I read the title. I know what it's going to be like, and then I can confirm that from looking at the other photos. But if I just see a single skein of yarn, I think it's going to be just one skein. It's not going to be enough. And just instinctively, I'm going to gravitate to the one that looks like it's a better shot, that's what I'm really looking for.
Cool. All right. So then, all right. So
yeah, is it skein or skein?
I hear people, and I've worked with people at my yarn store who pronounce it both ways. So
it is okay.
Yeah, I think there are multiple pronunciations that are acceptable.
Look, I know there's a proper Merriam-Webster's dictionary, but across this great land of ours, depending on where you live, potato.
Yeah, it's like tomato.
You all
Yes.
Y'all or yins are all the same
Or
thing.
Use.
Because I've been told differently by some people. So
Hey, Chatty Cathy's. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I was trying to make a point.
yes, I know.
Talk over my point. Sheesh. So, skeins, whatever you want to call it, just know that you need to picture all of them in the shot. So Lola and other buyers, it'll catch their eye. And you know me. I'm one for close-ups. Like if I'm gonna do this t-shirt, the first shot is not the whole shirt. It is just the artwork. And Lola, this question is not for you. Nadine, what is this shirt from?
I don't know. Some fraternity.
Lambda, Lambda, Lambda.
Okay, I was right. And that is the fraternity that guy that has a brother who was in Elf. Or maybe
Wait, what?
no, there's Will Ferrell. That's it. He was in the movie.
No, this is not from old school.
Oh, darn.
Do you know, Lola?
It's in the chat.
Did you know before you saw it in the
I
chat?
didn't know. No.
Oh, I never saw that movie.
Oh, yeah, Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay, I never saw
Lambda,
it.
Lambda, Lambda. I'm a tri-lamb.
No, I never saw it. So that's why. So there's also hanks of yarn too.
Mhm.
Do you want to tell us?
So I have a little show and tell.
Wait, what's that?
Okay.
I don't know that term.
So this is a hank of yarn. You purchase it like this, and then when you take it home, you wind it into a ball.
Okay.
This is one that's definitely a bolo. It is a British yarn that is from one breed of sheep. So this is Jacob fleece.
Ooh, it's like special sheep.
Yes, so special sheep.
I
So
like that.
so this company, and there are other companies that do it too, will have yarn that's made from one kind of sheep's wool. So the natural color of the yarn it comes from the color of the fleece. There's no dye involved, but there's different shades of yarn based on the kind of sheep that it comes from. Anything you see that's made in Yorkshire, made in Britain, very, very desirable among knitters. So that's
not dyed too.
Yeah, so not dyed. Yeah, so that is definitely a bolo. You can sell that for pretty good money, depending on how much you have. This is what you really want to be looking for in thrift stores. If you find a bag that looks like this, yeah,
unless it's
buy
like
it.
acrylic or fun.
Right, unless it's like eyelash yarn or ribbon yarn, made novelty yarn. This is called Linen Isle. It's by Plymouth Yarn, which is a pretty good yarn company. So when you buy yarn wholesale, it comes in these bags of 10. And this kind of bag of 10 is enough to make a sweater. So this is what a knitter is going to be looking for.
Real quick, going back one on the hank. It doesn't say hank. It's just how it's all like kind of woven together, right?
It's the way it's twisted like this.
Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't say that. That's just how it is. That's
more
the
cylindrical. That's more of a elongated, and it's kind of like got those twists like a pretzel.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. See, I'm learning.
Yep.
Oh, so David Euling asked if you make yarn beer can hats.
I never have, but I could.
You could.
Now, how long do you think it would take you? Say you had the beer cans already there, someone drank them and cut them up for you, and you've seen them, right?
How long would it take me to knit a hat?
Yeah.
I mean, I can knit a hat in an afternoon, so I slightly longer than an afternoon to figure out the beer can part, but
yeah, I mean, every time I find the old ones used, I sell them for like $25, $30, $35. So
well, maybe
if you're bored of an afternoon, you can make some money.
Somewhere in the works here. Totally.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pause everything because Robin, who's in the chat, says her yarn ain't selling, and she wanted you to look at her listing.
Okay.
So I brought her listing up.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
What a 4.
Okay, so the first thing about this is that acrylic is not going to move very fast.
Yeah.
Even vintage acrylic, you're looking for natural fibers. That's really the most important thing. Natural fibers first, and then high-end natural fibers if you can.
That's vintage, but there's really not enough of it. You'd probably have to lot it with
Yeah,
some other
so
acrylic yarn.
The only thing about this is I'm guessing from the big 8 barrel, it means that there's a lot of yardage per skein. So if that's true, I would add up the total yardage and put that right in your listing.
She doesn't have the weight there.
Yeah, you don't have, yeah. So, okay, 8 ounces is about twice the normal size.
Yeah, so well, a 4 ounce one is like, and they look like 4 ounce ones too.
Right.
They don't look that you can't tell that. That's
You can't tell the scale from the photo.
Not at all.
So I would put do the math. If it says the yardage on the ball, then multiply it by 4. Put the yardage right in the title, because I think that will be what helps sell it.
So she can probably.
And then Robin, from a non-yarn standpoint, and I'm hoping this is an older listing, or you're just ignoring all the teachings I've done. Square your photos up. Look at all this empty white space that you have just let go to waste.
To me,
get a nice square photo.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, I would do a picture with them kind of like lined up next to each other, so it's really obvious. And then if there's anything you can do for scale.
So basically, in this specific product, Lola's saying everything I teach to ignore. So don't make a nice cute little stack or pyramid, line them up, take the picture of all of them all at once. And I like it on the black background, but you need a little bit more light on it. I feel the yarn itself is a little too dark.
And your sale price is really what your regular price should be on this. About
yeah,
there you go.
I would try 24 and even 19.
Yeah,
I think it's a little high.
Yeah, she's got best offer. That's why I said $29.99 is what your regular with best offer, or you can take the best offer off, and you really realistically going to get about $19.99 for this.
And hey, congratulations on being a top-rated plus seller. Good job, Robin.
So your price it's overpriced too for what it is.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
There you go. Didn't know we were going to be, looking over people's listings tonight, but there it is.
Yes.
All right. So let's get back to kind of the pattern, the path we were taking.
Mm-hmm.
You've typed what you needed. You found the picture you like. Do you go in? Do you read the description? Do you read the terms of service? Or are you a compulsive buyer?
I do. I am someone who doesn't like. I'm sorry. What do you want? Oh no. My wife is trying to bribe the cats to be on TV.
Oh yes, she wants.
Which I have plenty of yarn on the TV.
Shy.
So.
Will you come say hi?
Hi.
There she is. This is Lola's wife,
Hello. Lola really can't knit anything.
Hello, Miss Southern Belle. How are you?
Did that
come up?
You had to be in the pre-show, folks. All right. So do you read the description? Do you read the terms of service? Or
I absolutely ignore the terms of service. I think that's one thing that will be consistent with knitting, no matter what, the best practices there, don't include it. It's silly. I do read carefully because I try not to impulse buy yarn. There's some people who do. I am not one of those people, but these are the things I look for. Okay. So this is an example this is a good bolo yarn. Debbie Bliss is the brand. That is a pretty good mid-range, nice, but good quality brand. So I look for the brand. I look for the kind of yarn it is. So this is Fez. It's discontinued. If there's a discontinued yarn that I'm really looking for, that will matter to me. Mm-hmm. And then this is the most important thing. So there's the color. Is that clear?
Can you talk about that? Because I know as a seller, why do buyers look for discontinued yarn? What's the big pull there?
So with every yarn like this that's put out by a specific company, they're going to also release patterns using these yarns. And if you have the pattern in your stash or you find it later on, there's a website called Ravelry that everyone should know about if you're selling yarn. It's ravelry.com. It's a huge database of patterns, yarn, everything knitting related.
I use that a lot when I research my list.
So as a knitter, you can easily find a pattern that uses discontinued yarn through the Ravelry search. And so it might be several years old. The yarn's really hard to find, but you see it, you want to make it. You're going to do whatever you can to find that yarn. Mm-hmm. And you can sub the yarn out for something similar, but a lot of people, especially newer knitters, just want to get the same exact yarn that the pattern calls for. So that's why finding discontinued yarn can be really great, because people will pay a premium to get that yarn.
And some people also start a project in a certain brand or dye lot or color that's been discontinued, and they need to finish it. So they're going to do whatever they can to find the rest of that
so
yarn.
That's the other thing on this tag. So it'll have the color, and then the dye lot is right underneath. the dye lot is really, really important because, like Nate just said, if you've started a project, you might be looking for a specific dye lot. If you find it on eBay, you will pay top dollar to get even like one skein of yarn just so you can finish your project.
Yeah, so make sure that if you don't put your dye lot in the title, put it in the item specifics. Definitely get your dye lot in there. And also, if you have multiple units, skeins, hanks of yarn, and they are of the same dye lot, make sure that you say that, that they're all the same dye lot.
Yeah.
If they're different dye lots, make sure you say that too.
Because you will, if you sell multiple dye lots to a single buyer, you will have a very unhappy buyer, most likely. So don't do that.
All right, so back to buying. All right, so you typed in what you needed. You caught it, a picture caught your eye. You read the description. It's all good. At this point, are you comparing ones that have free shipping and that don't, or are you just happy with the price and it doesn't matter if they're charging for shipping or not?
Honestly, I'll pay shipping for exactly what I want. It may, if it's really a toss-up between two, or if I find two sellers with the same yarn, same brand, same amount, whatever. But that rarely happens because there's a lot of yarn on eBay, but there's also a lot of different kinds of yarn. So usually I'm comparing apples and oranges. I'm comparing two different kinds of yarn that might work for my project, but they're different colors. Or one is partially cashmere and the other isn't, or it could be a million different things. So usually one of those things will end up swaying me one way or the other, and free shipping is not really as important.
Now, that's not to say that free shipping should be in your model. That was just, Lola's just one example of a buyer and how she sees listings when she's buying. Look, all we've talked about for almost 3 full seasons is selling. And now we're talking about buying because, we've never really talked to the buyer, and we should talk to the buyer way more, because the buyer's going to tell us what they're looking for, how they're looking for it, and what they expect. If you're not meeting those needs, you're not a good seller and you're not selling enough. I've had a great month, and I've seen others complain they've had this awful month. eBay's terrible, it's down. And I've had some other projects, like I went and vended someplace. I started a new Facebook group, and I'm hardly getting any other work done on eBay, but I've had a great month. I've had an absolute excellent month, one of my better Februaries, and I'm half-assing it. So if we don't listen to our buyers, we don't keep evolving. So we got to listen to our buyers, and I think this is a great way to do it, is having buyers on our show. And I'm going to look for more buyers for specific products. Just to have a general buyer on wouldn't be good, but maybe we'll find, maybe Nadine can interview me one night about tikis, because I'll tell you what I'm looking for. And we can talk about maybe Star Wars and just other specific things. And I think it'll be helpful to all our businesses to really get in our buyers' heads, and our buyers will be happy to reward us by buying our stuff.
Yeah. So you also had a couple examples of things when you're in the thrift store to look for as far as a yarn buyer, target audience.
Yeah. So I showed a couple of the yarn examples already. This is not yarn, but I think this is related to yarn, and it's important for anyone who sells sweaters to know this is a felted sweater.
A felted sweater.
So what that means is this has gone through the wash. It used to be a normal size sweater, and now it's teeny tiny. And the main way you can tell that something is felted is that if you look really closely at the knit fabric, the individual stitches have almost disappeared. So it's kind of hard to see on camera. But I think, and I've seen people on the thrifting board posting about this. They'll say, oh, I think this is really small. What's wrong with it? It's gone through the wash. It's gone through the dryer. It's felted. Crafters will buy these. So if you ever...
Okay, pause. What's a crafter do with that?
People make mittens. People make doormats. They make scarves, like patchwork scarves. They can do tons and tons of stuff with this. And the thing is that a lot of these sad sweaters are really high in material. So this one...
Should we call them sad sweaters?
I call
sweaters
them
just for crafters.
It's a crafter's dream, though. This is 100% Angora.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So I can lot this up with a couple sweaters that are maybe cashmere for $30. And I got this on half off day, only really because I wanted an example. I think I paid $1.50 for this. So you can make a big mistake on a sweater and still make money on it, because crafters look for all kinds of things on eBay.
So should I buy, no matter the look nor the condition, any cashmere sweater if it's a couple bucks?
If it's a couple bucks, yeah. If you're like at the bins.
Man, I never have thought about that. So if nothing else, if everyone watching, nothing else, if you take nothing else away, buy crappy cashmere because someone will buy it.
Cashmere, yeah.
We got tons of sweaters, and I always look for colorful Cosby-esque type sweaters, and I don't even bother to stop and look. But if I'm finding cashmere, cheap.
Yep. Anything. So the other thing you can do, and this is really more for people who are crafty like me who might get into it, but if you find a really high-end fiber sweater that's really out of date, it's not a great, either the style or the brand is not desirable.
Or even if it has some holes in it.
If it has some holes, not moth holes, but if it's,
because that'll damage.
Because that's a sign of more damage. But if it just looks like it's been torn or something like that, sometimes the shoulders get damaged on hangers. You can take it apart and reclaim the yarn. So
I'm taking you back, yarn.
This is an example of a ball of yarn. I wouldn't sell this because it's this is just for my personal use. I didn't do a great job of keeping it intact in one piece, but this is cashmere. And this cost me, $3 for a sweater's worth of cashmere yarn. You can easily sell that on eBay for $30 to $40. And people will buy that because it's still a lot cheaper than going out and buying a sweater's worth of cashmere yarn brand new. So it's a little bit of effort, but if you're a knitter, it doesn't take that much time to how to undo a sweater. If you know how to make a sweater, even if you're not a knitter, you can teach yourself. It's pretty easy.
So do you, when you're knitting cashmere, do you think more of the Led Zeppelin cashmere or the Prince pink cashmere? Is that the flow through your head at all?
Honestly, I think about neither.
Oh, that's probably that age where you don't know either song either, I'm guessing.
I'm just like Nadine.
Another one. All right. I'm going to send you the link to pink cashmere and cashmere. And you tell me which one you think will flow through your head now.
I will get back to you on that.
So Lola, we were going to show some scores and duds, but we're not going to. We don't really have time. But Lola is also a seller. She is a seller. Not so much of yarn because, like we said, she usually keeps the yarn that she finds. But Lola is great with vintage clothing. She's amazing. She helped me out with my class the other day, and she is a vintage clothing maven. So where can we find you on online? What platforms do you sell on? And
I sell on eBay, Etsy, and Poshmark.
Can you type your
store
name?
My store name is Found in Philadelphia. It's like my blog, and then Poshmark, I'm Run Lola Run. And if anyone's interested in connecting on social media, I'm Found in Philadelphia there too. So.
Yeah, she has an awesome blog. It's definitely worth checking out.
Definitely. And those of you who are on the Secret Beach, we have a webinar tomorrow, and Lola is my special helper in the Secret Beach. So now that you've all seen her, who's taking care of me. So when I do the webinars, she's going to compile all the questions for me. So Lola, thank you very much for this volunteering to help out, take care of all the questions when we do the webinars for the Secret Beach. All right. That's it. We're a little bit over the hour, but man, that was a great show. I love when I learn from our guests. I've learned a ton tonight. And like Nadine said, she's going to have a video for you guys coming up, all about yarn, what to look for. We wetted your whistle tonight. I saw the questions. We just couldn't get to them all, but Nadine's going to have all those answers in this video. So stay tuned for that very, very soon. And last call for alcohol. If you want to join the Secret Beach, tonight's the night, midnight.
Cheers.
Cheers. www.thesecretbeach.club in the club. I saw a couple people sign up in the last hour. So if you're watching, get in there. If you want to sign up a spouse, hit me up. I'm going downstairs, making dinner. I'm going to be on the computer all night. If you got any questions about anything, doesn't have to be the Secret Beach, anything, I'll be online all night, hanging out, chatting. So hit me up. Lola, thank you for being our guest. Thank you for helping out Nadine at her classes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for helping out me in the group.
Thanks
for being an awesome, awesome guest. I hope everyone enjoyed that, and we'll bring more buyers in, because the better we know our buyers, the better sellers we become. And with that, I will say good night.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Oh, did you want to talk about our guest next week?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I've been using a new app. You've probably seen the videos. It's called 8. 8's going to revolutionize how we crisscross social media. Well, that's kind of dirty. Crisscross social media and selling stuff. 8 is an up-and-coming thing. It's in beta. I've been working with the guys who have started it. And Leon, the founder of 8, is going to be on next week. And so I will finally officially tell you all what 8 is, how it's going to be beneficial for you, and how much fun it is. So you've seen my videos. You've seen the little stuffed animals over my shoulder. You've seen me upside down in my little magnifying light. So we're going to talk to him next week about what's happening with that app, how awesome it's going to be, and where you might see it other places. Something cool is coming up. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
A couple other things. I know you have a couple of webinars going on and stuff. On Sunday, are you doing a show with your mom?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Nay. Thanks for keeping me in check.
And there's one more thing.
Selling past your expiration date, being thrifty over 50, will be back this Sunday. I will post the times tomorrow. It will not coincide with the Oscars. Don't worry about that. Mom and I are nerds for movies and the Oscars, and Mom and I FaceTime and watch the Oscars together. Yes, I'm a mama's boy. So don't worry. It will be earlier in the day for those of you who want to watch the Oscars.
Okay. And coming up in April, we will have some information for you very soon.
Yes. I'll be in Philly in April. We're going to be doing probably 2 classes, a hangout at a tiki bar and a hangout at a flea market. So all that's coming soon. So if you're in the Philly, Jersey, Delaware, whatever area, and you want to come hang out or take a class from Nay and I, details coming soon. And that's it. We're out here. Bye.
And we'll be doing a haul sometime soon as well.
Yes. Enjoy your tiki drinks. Night, everyone.